Welcome back to the channel. Today's review is something a little bit special, something I haven't seen done on literally anybody's channel, besides like a select few. This is going to be Hunter Jackal. This is an armor hero, which is a TV show I've heard about, never really watched it, but I did like this design. I was like, I wonder if they made a figure for it, and yeah, they did. So today we'll check out what he's about, and I think maybe be one of the first English reviews to really go in depth about him. Let's get into it. Alright, and here he is right out of his box in his plastic prison. This figure surprised me. I've never heard of the company that makes these. Again, this is from the Armor Hero TV series, or I guess Sentai series, which I don't know much about, haven't watched any of it, but I had come across this guy's design, and I'm a sucker for anything Egyptian design related, so I was like, okay, well, let me track down this guy. I don't remember what website I got him from, but if I do and you guys are interested in buying one for yourself, just let me know and I can put it down in the description below. But for right now, let's look closer at his details. So yeah, this thing is really well made. He's got the see-through on his visor, and you can see like patterns within that visor too. So it's different than a Kamen Rider where they all have like the compound eyes. I think all these guys are a little bit different depending on which one you pick up. I know Big Bad Toy Store has some of these armor heroes as well, that they have up for pre-order, and some that are in stock, but not this guy. One thing that I thought was like a defect from the factory or something like that, was this two-tone purple, but his suit is actually like that, and I like how it's like a subtle change from this like darker kind of maroon type color maybe to this more like dark royal purple. And then I love all the see-through pieces too, like you can see how the light kind of shines through the eye on his chest, as well as this like piece on his shoulder. His arm too has that different kind of maroon purplish color, and then his upper bicep has the purple, and then of course he has all this nice gold and silver on him, and then really cool, and I don't even know if it's gonna pick this up, but you can kind of see on his wrist where it's got like all the Egyptian symbols. So it's like it's got the Eye of Ra and some other things. If I still had like my little scroll from when I went to the museum, it had like the translations for what all these symbols mean, and I could translate them, but I have no clue as of right now. But that symbol pattern goes over the silver bit, and then on his back it leads back to, I think it's the Eye of Ra. I know there's like an Eye of Ra and an Eye of Horus. I think this one is the Eye of Ra. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just pretty cool, and that's also a different shade of purple than even his back and then his main suit color. Looking down to his legs, he has more of that motif on the ankle cuffs. And on his feet, he's got like a little gem. On the bottom of his feet, plain, nothing going on there. So yeah, he looks really good. I mean, even his belt buckle, I mean, it has like the little Egyptian motif, and then it's got like a tiny hint of purple just like in the center. Yeah, it looks really good. All right. So for articulation, this guy can look up, not a lot. Looks down, not a lot either. And for some weird reason, I could pull off his head and I can show you. So his neck is articulated a little bit, not a lot. And I don't know if there's like a special way to put it or something to make it get even more range, but this is the way that I found has a lot of range, where the seam is down the middle. I don't know if that's supposed to be going towards the back or not. But his head has just a ball peg on one end that goes into the neck, and then it's on just like a stick. So like this doesn't move at all. I don't know who designed that. At first I thought I could like take this, I thought his the neck joint was too small, so I was like, oh, let me take it out and replace it. Nope, it's just weird engineering. So his head does not move whatsoever, except very minimally. I mean, you can kind of get some attitude tilt but not a lot. I know they're redoing some of these guys, so hopefully he gets a redo and then they fix that with like new engineering. But besides that, his shoulder pads, they move independently. They're attached to the shoulder, which is nice. It's like they move with the arm. So when he lifts his arm up, this side can get up that high, and then this side can get up that high. Of course, it makes his head kind of smush in between. Then he has bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. Glad they didn't change the formula on that. They look good. And they get 90. The wrists, I don't remember. Yeah, so the wrists are on these little, hinged ball peg, which is great. Which makes me even more confused if they were copying like Tamashii Nation's design. Like, why didn't they do that for the head? Also, his hands, and I don't know, maybe it's like an optical illusion, but they seem bigger than like regular SH Figuart, like Kamen Rider hands. I don't mind it. I think it looks good, but that's just something I noticed. And then for the torso articulation, his top of his abs, the ab crunch goes about that far forward, that far back. And then his waist does have a waist twist. So using his waist and his chest goes forward about that much. And together, back, goes back about that much. Again, he can spin all the way around, although feels like something. Oh, I guess it was just the belt. But yeah, he can spin all the way around. Legs do not have a drop down, but he does kick up pretty high without it. That far up. And then he does have a thigh swivel, just kind of stuck, but it's loosened up now, so it's fine. Has thigh swivel, double jointed knees, gets a little bit better than 90, looks good. The cool part is like his ankles are really good and his feet are larger, so he has a wider place to kind of like stand and hold his weight. Ankle pivot is great. And then lifting it up like that is good. Going down like that, pretty good. And then the toe joint, really nicely designed actually. I was surprised, you know, pretty good. All right, so that's his articulation. Let's get into what he comes with. Okay, one more thing I forgot to mention, his legs go out about that much. And then he does have butterfly joints, but they don't really do too much. That's literally the extent of his butterfly. Like, they don't go forward and they don't go back, but it's in there. All right, on to his accessories. And here he is standing next to a Figma Reaper for some size comparison. He is shorter than this Figma Reaper, but not all Figmas are made equally, so a couple of them could fit in, but you can still fudge it if you want to put them into your picture or diorama with a Figma. Still scales pretty good. His ears, you know, kind of make up for that lack of height. But yeah, they look pretty good. Here he is standing next to Kamen Rider Ixa, and this is the renewal version. They are standing out at the same height, so he will fit into your Senkocho Seiho display, which is pretty nice. That's currently where I have him sitting. Here he is standing next to a Lightning Collection White Thunder Ranger. He is shorter than him, but again, you can fudge that perspective and get it to work if you're taking any pictures or anything. But they still look cool together. And here he is next to the newly released Mafex Batman. This Batman is just huge in general, so yeah, he's way shorter. I think this Batman actually makes most of my import figures to look kind of like a kid or a teenager. But still, I mean, you could fudge the perspective, put Batman flying or whatever, and then I think it'll work out. But yeah, these two look pretty good as well.